Welcome to the North Lake parking lot. I was supposed to be staying at North Lake Campground last night, but lo and behold, when I needed a spot, it was full. So I had to camp down at Mountain Glen, an old favorite of mine. Today we're going to be heading up this canyon here, go over Piute Pass, and see if we can go climb Pilot Knob. A little warm-up for the Sierra Challenge coming up in a couple weeks. And where we're going is in the National Forest completely, so Bud gets to come too. I'm sure he's real excited. Because I had to camp at Mountain Glen, I'm getting started about an hour later than I'd hoped. Sun's already up. Here's a little teaser for later. Lots of flowers blooming. I'm kind of in a rush right now to get up the hill, so I'll try to stop and video them on the way down. Must not be hot yet. He's not exactly running to the snow. There he goes. There's my favorite stuff. A little hard for you, bud? Okay. Well, we zipped right up the switchbacks, all in the shade. Very pleasant. Give you an idea how pleasant, I'm still wearing my wind fleece. Although I think I'm going to be taking it off pretty soon. That looks like a mighty big snow field. Yep, pretty thick. Big hole there. Passing by Loch Leven. Piute Pass looks a little snowy up there. I hear though they've cut a pretty good groove through it though. And that's that line is right there. But he sure seems to be having a good time. How could you not have a good time up here? Maybe if it was pouring rain and lightning. Don't expect any of that today, though. We've reached the Meadows, filled with all sorts of little critters making noise, catching Buddy's attention. Yeah, he's having fun. Stream's coming out from under the snow. At least there's lots of water for Buddy to drink up here. Much better than at home. We're almost there. Where have you been, bud? Chasing stuff? Yep, here's the line they cut through the snow. Piece of cake. Buddy's just showing off now. Stream's still flowing up there. Here we are on the pass. Lots of snow on the northern facing side. Looks like there's plenty of areas of Humphreys Basin that are clear though. Speaking of Humphrey, there he is. Looking quite challenging. Looks like it's clear over to Pilot Knob. Some snow, but it should be avoidable. Now for the fun part. Another stream crossing I've had to do coming down from Piute Pass. Alternate trail leads over here to where it's narrower. And you can just step across on some rocks. Pretty easy. That's Muriel Peak up there. One of those two ones in the distance is Mount Goth. A little bit trickier one here. Buddy already made it across. Just came across the unmaintained trail to Desolation Lake. I've left the trail from Piute Pass now, and I'm aiming for that way. And the bugs have decided to wake up today. Didn't put any bug stuff on yet. Figure it's tolerable for now. See how long that lasts. Piute Pass is over there. And there's Mount Humphreys. This was a bigger one. Managed to find a sequence of rocks that worked though. This should be what's coming out of Desolation Lake, and more recently Lower Desolation Lake. It's a bit of a puddle here, but that's not Lower Desolation Lake. It's further upstream. Buddy had no trouble either. Onward we go. That might be Lower Desolation Lake over there. It looks bigger. After losing sight of my target again, it has now reappeared. Here comes our next little trench we have to go through. There's the target. I believe this is Tomahawk Lake. Very nice. I think that one up there is Mesa Lake. And there's also a square lake somewhere. Looks like I'm going to head up this way a little bit. Here's Square Lake. Terrain's not quite as nice right now, but still doable. Still Square Lake. Found a frozen lake. You know what that means? Iceworks. Thought of that up there at Ruby Lake last year. Sort of like fireworks, only with ice. It was the 4th of July when I thought of it, so that might explain it. Well, there's Knob Lake. Pilot knob's up there. But I've got yet another big drop down to go. This is about the 4th one now. Starting to get annoying. Well, as usual, in trying to make things easier and simpler, I've made them harder and more difficult. We're up here on this ledge, kind of close to Piute Pass. There's Knob Lake down there. Good views. Just an awful lot of uneven terrain. I think if we can just get right down here, we should be back on the easier stuff for a little while. Break time for Buddy. There it is. We're getting up there. About 11.7. It's only 500 more feet to climb. You can see over the ridge a little bit. That might be Puppet Lake with the hook shape. Not sure about the other one yet. Just a big pile of rocks now. Good idea, bud. Let's take a little rest. Well, unfortunately, with about 300 feet to go, I think Bud's given up. He hit something he didn't like and he went running back down the trail, and then he came running back up as fast as he could, and then he was pretty exhausted, so we may have to call it quits for today. Too bad. Great views from here, though. See most of the little lakes that are up this direction. Don't know them by name right now, so I can't tell you what they are. Well, we settled on this little spot here, right next to his snow patch on the way up Pilot Knob. Had my lunch here, half of my sandwich. And just been relaxing for a little while. It's not the summit, but it's still nice. There's Humphreys Basin up there. This rather flat-topped mountain. And I was right, the hook-shaped lake is Puppet Lake. In front of it is Paris Lake. This big one here is Alsace Lake, as in Alsace-Lorraine. Remember that from history class. Lorraine Lake is just out of view behind this mountain, so we can't see it. Then down here we have Chauveau Lake. That might be Merriam Peak right there. There's a creek coming out over here. That's where Merriam Lake is. I thought about just running up there and hitting it, but decided I didn't want to leave Bud alone. Another time, maybe with a more straight line through Humphreys Basin this time. That's the creek coming out of Merriam Lake. And that big flat area up there is where the Royce Lakes are. And coming out of them is a substantial stream too, and it's got a very nice waterfall if you can see it there. Heard some good things about this waterfall. Be cool to see it up closer. Yeah, it looks very flat up there. Ought to be some good exploring up there someday. Not to mention the rest of French Canyon. Yep, all sorts of fun adventures to be had up here. So I checked my map. The lakes in here should be Upper and Lower Honeymoon Lake. I think you can see both of them right there. In the next canyon over, we have the Love Lakes. They're kind of small, so kind of hard to see. And then Pack Saddle Lake is over there. Beyond that, we should have probably either Upper or Lower Golden Trout Lake. Upper's kind of small, so that's probably the lower one. And I believe up here on the hill somewhere is Muriel. You can just see Muriel peeking over there. And of course Tomahawk and Knob Lake. Uh-oh, Buddy's already making a retreat. I better catch up. Among all the desolate rocks, we do have some flowers here. Here's some of the alpine penstemon. And some Indian paintbrush too. about a Sierra wallflower too? Stepped on a few patches of mint too when we were going across this crazy hill, which I'm going to try to avoid going back. Streams come the flowers. Some red heather and shooting stars. What a beautiful grass ramp I found. There's Tomahawk Lake again. Mesa Lake should be just over this hill. And do I maybe see Desolation Lake peeking over the top there? That's what I'm aiming for. Yep, there's Mesa Lake. I'm pretty sure that's Desolation over there. I think Wedge Lake is up in this little canyon right here. Okay, I was wrong again. Wedge Lake is not up there. Looks like there's another the main inlet stream for Mesa Lake is over here. Which is good. I wasn't keen on climbing this hill here just to see Wedge Lake. Hopefully the hill I have to climb is shorter. Well, Pilot Knob may have been a failure, but Humphreys Basin is sure passing with flying colors. This is still Mesa Lake now. Buddy's still on all fours, leading the way. At least I don't have to worry about carrying water for him today. You know, all the streams we've crossed and lakes we've been past and snow to roll in, he's fine. Just got to give him snacks every now and then. Definitely won't be trying to take him up to Mount Humphreys if I ever do that. There he is. Definitely very big and definitely not totally desolate. I see green. Right now I'm trying to go around this big snow patch. Lots of sun cups. I have a feeling if they're good campsites, they might be on the other side of the outlet. That'd be nice because then we wouldn't have to cross it with our heavy backpacks. Okay, I think the verdict is in. Desolation Lake is beautiful, not desolate. The mountains around it might be desolate, but the lake itself is very pretty. Crossing the outlet here is not going to be trivial. Though I'm hoping this high concentration of rocks will do the trick. Yep, it worked. I'm across. All the yellow flowers that were waiting for me too. I think it's a good thing I went ahead and just crossed this snow patch and didn't try to go around it. Goes down quite a ways. Came over a hill and found lower Desolation Lake. Another good sized one. The trail that's on my map is way on this side, so I'm going to try and find that. On second thought, it looks awfully rocky over there. I learned my lesson today on the rocks. I think I'm going to stick instead to nice and easy. Means I got to cross the stream again, but oh well. I made it. And another crossing. This one looks familiar. It's where I crossed earlier today. Right where this little lake is. Getting tired of seeing Mount Humphreys in every shot. Guess what I just spotted? No, not red heather. That's white heather. First time I've ever seen any of this stuff, except up there by Piute Pass and Wanda Lake. It does grow elsewhere. And in day hike range too. Good to know for the future. Bud's probably wondering what the holdup is. Been moving all day. See what looks like a pretty good place to camp maybe down there. Might be closer to the main trail. Too tired now to go walk down and mark it, so hopefully this will have to do. Yay, we're back on the trail now. Time to kick it into high gear. Hustle on out of here. Not that I really want to, it's so pretty. But I am starting to get tired. Okay, I've been tired for a while. Awfully nice bunch of columbines here right by the trail. Doing the two crossings right now. I'm in between them where the creek goes across the trail for quite a bit of the way. Well, we made it over Piute Pass. Struck up a conversation with a couple of backpackers and forgot to get out the video camera, so we're almost to Piute Lake now and hustling on down the trail. Don't very often get to see such a beautiful shot of Piute Lake. Seems like it's usually cloudy when I come down this way. Well, looks like I might get the switchbacks in the shade again. That'd be nice. Speaking of the shade, look what's down there. Weren't too many blooming at the North Lake campground, but this patch is going off like crazy. Nice to see that again. Well, I think I feel better now about not staying at North Lake. We just walked through there and the mosquitoes are going nuts. Hopefully they aren't as bad back at Mountain Glen. Nice when the wind kicks up and blows them away temporarily. There's the total for today. Not quite a marathon, but pretty close.